Jen, it's Trev Lukather, ZFG. Josh is on the phone now, too.
Awesome.
Hey, Jen, how are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you guys doing?
Well, it seems I was pretty shocked because at the last minute, I don't know if I was going to do this one alone because we've all been April Foolsing each other today, pretty gnarly. So I don't know if anyone wanted to talk to me or Josh at this moment.
Oh, no. Well, I'll be happy to take one for the team.
I got to say, Josh and I got Josh really good. I got all the guys in the band real good, but then Josh added on to mine, and then it really freaked out the two other guys, man. And so I think they're all a little scarred and calming down right now.
Well, thanks, guys, for calling in to Don't Forget to Rock. I'm very excited to chat with you guys. And I'm not just saying that because I'm talking to you, but I really love the two songs that you guys have put out so far, Wholehearted and Special.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, the guitar riff on Special is killer. I love that. So I want to pick your brain a little bit about how you guys approach songwriting.
Well, thank you so much for the love, though, off the bat. The riff, I mean, basically, it just kind of starts off. I mean, I kind of just lock myself away here and there and just kind of see if the universe is going to speak. So if something comes to me and some riffs come to me, I'll just start kind of putting them together. And then, Josh and I, we're roommates, so he tends to hear a lot of the stuff I'm kind of thinking of first, and then, we kind of get a groove going, and then Jules comes over, and he starts, singing some melodies on top, and then Sam kind of comes over as acoustic bass, and so we kind of strip it down in the beginning, because I feel like also with the song, it has to sound great acoustic for it to really be a great song. At the end of the day, getting in the room, that's just the frosting on the cake.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm all about melodies, so yeah, I agree that if it sounds good on acoustic, then that means there's a good melody there.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it a lot easier to play an electric, too, if I got it down to acoustic. No, but I know you mentioned Special, and actually Special, I mean, Josh, you could tell her how that all came about.
Yeah, Special, funny enough, I'd heard Trev jamming that opening riff. And Jules, all I remember is the use to start off with, and it was just kind of an acoustic vibe. We didn't really think anything much of it, but in the studio, we just finished tracking one of the other songs that we'd started recording, and Trev busts that riff out, and Jules starts singing along to the chorus, just the whole chorus melody basically, and we were like, holy shit, this is something pretty cool. And actually, the guys producing the record with us were like, guys, why the hell isn't this going to make the cut? Because we originally weren't going to put this one on the EP.
Oh, really?
And they're like, guys, this is a killer track. Like, you should think about doing this. And all fairness to them, we were like, okay, yeah, let's give it a shot. And we just kind of arranged and wrote everything else around the melody and that guitar riff. And the song came alive in the studio. And we just recorded it then and there. And it was definitely the most organic, quick thing. I mean, we pretty much tracked most of it in a day, and then Trev's godfather, Lenny Castro, who is one of the most, if not the most, legendary percussion players in the world, very graciously played on our record, which we're also thankful for. And he just brought this song to life. I mean, as a drummer, that's one of the greatest things is when there's a solid groove, and with Sam playing bass in the band, and now with Lenny lending his taste to this track as well, it was such a thrill. Every time I play it live, I've got this big smile on my face. It's such a cool song.
Yeah, it's super catchy. I'm glad that the team pushed you guys to go for it.
Yeah, me too.
Put it together.
It definitely proved what we could do as a band, just on the spot, and seeing what we can come up with, literally with no pre-production, no rehearsal. And it was a lot of fun. I remember when Josh got into the drum room, and it just him and I kind of were figuring out, because what we like to do in this band too is kind of always switch something up a little bit on the second verse. And so it's very open in the first verse, and then we tend to kind of like arrange it differently in the second one, kind of have a little fun as musicians. So like we kind of came up with, Josh and I on the spot, on the second part of how just that new funk, and then these new little like hits together. These little tiny things that we just switch up differently. It was all arranged on the spot, tracking drums.
It just takes it from being that mundane, like, A, B, A, B, C, B, that kind of verse, chorus. It's always fun to switch it up. And I think with every song we do, we managed to switch things up just tiny. I mean, I know Trev and Sam will sit there and literally switch up even just one note difference, and it just makes all the difference. So it's very fun. It's very special. No pun intended there.
No, I was going to say I actually noticed that in your music that it doesn't follow the generic pop formula, and that there's different sections throughout the song.
That was kind of what started it all. I mean, that's what started this band, is basically we wanted, all of us were in separate projects, doing completely different sounding music, very pop-oriented, sticking to the formula, going with the times, all the things that we were told to do. And, none of us felt exactly that we were showcasing ourselves in each of our projects. And Jules, I mean, he's a soul funk R&B pop singer. Like, he's never even been in a rock project before. But, when we came, we kept bumping into Jules in the jam circuit here in Hollywood. And he was always doing, like, killer covers. And, he just happened to hit, when we were kind of looking, when Josh and I, when we moved in together, I said, man, we're not roommates we didn't meet to become roommates. We met to be in a band together, but we got to do something. And even if it's just us getting in the studio for a day and having some fun, let's do it. And let's do some out there music. No rules. Let's not stick to any formula. Let's do some crazy stuff and find someone to sing these soaring vocals and just hit the fucking button and go for it. And then just, universe speaks. And like, we came across right when I was like, oh, who should sing? Jules put up some video of him performing, and he went from the high range, and he sounded then all of a sudden like a Miles Kennedy, Axl Rose, fucking, insane high range, and just was killer. And we're like, dude, this guy, hit him up, because we kept bumping into each other, and he was like, I'm so down to get in the studio and have some fun. So I think why it works so well is because we didn't go in thinking this is going to be a band. We were thinking, hey, we all dig each other, respect each other. Sam and I grew up together. Our dads were in the same band growing up. Sam's an unbelievable bass player and a great dude and just family to me. And Josh and him started really hanging and becoming dear friends. So, it was like, let's just have some fucking fun. And so we didn't know what to call it in the first day, so we just said ZFG, Zero Fucks Given, because we didn't know what the song title would be. And just let's get in the room and make some crazy music. So I think, Wholehearted is 6-7 different sections, plus a guitar solo, plus Josh going nuts at the end of drums. It was always just don't think about it, do it. It was great.
No rules, man. No rules. That's the whole thing of the band. There is no rules. We just do exactly what we want. That's it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wish the industry was more like that, where people are willing to take risks instead of, just sticking to the same safe generic formula. So I think that's why I really like your music.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I feel that's why it connects to people, is because they can feel how real it is. Because after we finished Wholehearted, we heard the mix back. I mean, and this is another no pun intended, but Jules called. He called me and he's like, dude, this is something special, man. This is unreal. When we heard the mix back and knowing what we did all together as a group. And at that moment, we all knew, all right, once again, I keep saying the universe, but it's true. It's like, universe speaking, we need, the universe brought us together. We need to, we're having too much fun hanging out, having fun, writing music. It was coming together so quickly. We all wanted to do it. So we decided to make a band. And then why ZFG? Because that was the first day. We're like, that just stuck. So, we just decided at that moment that this was going to be our baby all together. And here we are.
Nice. And you guys are about to take the songs on the road with Adelita's Way. What's the process taking the studio songs onto the stage? Do you pretty much play everything similar, or do you try to mix things up a little bit?
Well, we the whole thing was we didn't want to add too much production and outside sources of patching things with keys and layers and stuff. We wanted it to be what you hear is what you get. So everything that you hear on the record, we can do live without having to get more people out on the stage or running a load of tracks or anything like that. We kept everything very real and normal. So actually, to be honest with you, translating it across, I feel like we actually sound better than the record live than we do in the studio. And if I may say so myself, I think we sound pretty good in the studio. So
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that there's no Boston tour date, but hopefully you guys can change that.
Yeah.
I wish it was up to us. So definitely in the future, in the very near future, we'll 100%. We'll love to do all the big cities too. Because I think we're doing a lot of the secondary market cities and a lot of smaller places and places where bands don't usually go through, which is going to be cool. There's a lot of places on this tour I've never been. I know, Trev, you've done this run before, but I think the rest of us haven't actually done a lot of these places, so it's really exciting.
Awesome. And aside from getting more exposure and gaining new fans, what are you hoping to take away from the tour?
I mean, it's always going to be something very near and dear to us because this is our first tour together as a band. I think that, we're just going to make a lot of friends, new fans, and meet everybody. And I hope that, our show, which, they're going to see just our energy on stage and how much we all respect each other and love each other. You're going to see that when we play live because we're having so much fun doing this music. So I feel that, if we can, really connect to people and the connection that can stick, that they're going to want to see us and hang with us again. That's the main goal, is just to make more friends and fans by each show and seeing it all build.
Very cool. And Trev, what would you say is more important for a guitarist trying to improve his or her technique? Would you say just writing songs as much as you can, or kind of practicing playing faster, or picking multiple hours each day?
100% work on the rhythm. That's all I have to say is if you're in the pocket and if you could play rhythm guitar really well, then you could start writing some songs, and then, because that is what really connects to everyone else in the band is rhythm. My dad, when I started playing guitar, he says, whatever you do, just focus on your rhythm, write songs, don't worry about solos, don't worry about playing really fast. That doesn't matter. What matters is songs, rhythm. That is the key, and that's always stuck with me. And also a very, very, very amazing singer that I used to hang with a lot, Steve Perry, the original singer of Journey. He told me when I started soloing, and he would come down in the studio and he would, or a rehearsal room, and he would, hear my band play. This is years ago. But he says, hey, man, when I started trying to do some fast stuff, he says, hey, man, let me ask you a question. Guys in the front row, or you want girls in the front row? And I'm like, well, that's, obviously girls. He says, then play some front row licks, man. He's like, sing with your guitar. You shred? No one cares about shredding. He's like, front row licks. So that to me stuck. And so I was always about like David Gilmour solos and holding out notes and being just as tasty where people could actually like sing along to the solo. So overall, focus on the rhythm, writing songs, and if you want to mess, because I didn't start soloing until like 6 years into playing guitar. So it's just like get that going and then experiment after that.
I have to attest to that. As a drummer especially, I've played with a load of different guitarists who can play every note under the sun as quick as anyone else, but their feel and their timing is lacking majorly because they just spent years in a bedroom playing in front of the mirror when actually they haven't spent enough time sitting there, being like, I'm just going to groove. At the end of the day, we're all there to make people dance. We're all there to make people feel good. So I think it's imperative, especially for a guitar player, to have impeccable rhythm and timing. And I'm just super glad that Trev has that because it makes my job a hell of a lot easier.
Nice. Trev, I heard you say that you met Brian May, which is one of my favorite guitarists, at Capitol Studio.
Yeah.
Well, was he working on Death on Two Legs, the surround sound for it?
Yep.
I have to hear what he was like.
He is the coolest guy ever. Like, it's crazy how he is just a genuine, sweet, humble guy. And, when I was so young, it's another thing is when, growing up the way I grew up, you don't think it's different from anyone else because you're just living your life and you're a young kid. And so, you kind of think, oh, this is just the way I mean, it's just weird. It never hit me when I was young. So my dad would take me to all these cool sessions and, we'd go to dinner with like people I'd find out later on in life. Holy shit. Even my own dad, I didn't know how popular my dad was too. It was just like one of these things where you just don't really focus on that. And Brian was just so cool where like we walk in the Capitol and they were doing this surround sound and he says, Trev, sit here. And it's like put me in the middle, like just put me in the chair right in front of the speakers where you could hear all the surround sounds, the speakers behind me too. And he played Death on Two Legs. And my dad looked, he's like, you don't understand how cool this is, man. You know, because I was like, you know, I don't know how old I was, maybe like 11, you know, 12 maybe. I mean, but I just remember it just being so cool. And that was really when I dug into Queen, too. After hearing that, I was obsessed with Queen. And then Brian was just such a cool dude. And he's truly a genius guy all around. I mean, he even did a book. We went up to the observatory probably about like 8 years ago. He made like a book about the first 3D photographer. And he went up and explained about, and he went up and explained about the first, and read the whole book, and he's just such a smart, you would never think he's a rock star.
Yeah, he's an astrophysicist.
Yeah, he's a genius, man. I mean, it's like, what do you think, you're a rocket scientist, man? Brian, you'd be like, yeah, actually I am. You know? It's like, it's just, it's so just like humbling and cool to see someone who's done so much in music but tends to keep pushing himself in other areas and just being just that guy, and he couldn't be more cool.
Yeah, definitely an inspiration. So that must have been before you started playing guitar, right?
I started playing at 12.
Okay. I was going to ask if he gave you any guitar advice, but, I mean, you probably got all the advice you needed before then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I was playing guitar at that point because I would have been pretty blown away by Death on Two Legs.
Yeah.
As a guitar player, young guitar player. So it must have been right before I got the bug to play.
Nice. I wanted to also ask, I know you play St. Vincent guitars, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How does it feel compared to the Music Man Luke? Which one do you prefer?
Funny enough, when I was a kid, my dad, you know, his Luke model, on my 13th birthday, when I started playing guitar when I was 12, on my 13th birthday, he made, Ernie Ball Music Man made me a Trev model, which was just the headstock was different. Same guitar, but he made it actually a smaller version because I was the tiny dude back then. And I think I was about Josh's size. And like, it was like a
savage.
I love it, Josh. I'm just kidding. But so like it was a little bit smaller. So I was just so blown away by that gift. So I played those, and they made me actually 4 of them, which actually are hanging up on. We have this cool like guitar hangers in our townhouse that kind of goes down, and these guitars are all up right now. And so, you know, I love those guitars. But when I got older, you know, I kind of wanted to go a little outside of the box of like just not playing similar guitars. My dad loved the stuff, but like they started coming out with all these out there different models, and I go to an NAMM show and pick them up, and just they felt so amazing. And you know, and I also like really out there looking guitars. Like that's what I love about the St. Vincent too. It's a very different shape. It's very like quirky in a way, and I'm a very quirky dude. So it's like I like these weird looking guitars, and Music Man are so amazing. I'm not being biased. They are the best guitars I've ever played, hands down. And you know, they've been so supportive. So they'll let me check out new guitars, and St. Vincent guitar really connected the most to me. So I play that main.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Berklee College of Music in Boston, but I have quite a few friends who go there, and they play Music Man, and they really like the feel of the neck because it's like thin and easy to hold.
Very fresh neck. Very fresh.
I love the feel of a good neck.
Yeah, I mean, they're very smooth necks. They're very light guitars too. That's another thing that all the other guitar players that I know, and they'll come and pick up my guitar, and I'll always say, yeah, you know, tell me what you think, and then they'll pick up like, oh my God, it's so light. Oh my God, the neck feels so good. Oh, you know, it's like, because you know, a lot of these Fenders and Gibsons. I mean, I have so much respect for those companies, but you know, they can be fucking heavy, and it can wear on you after a while. So it's like a lot of people that are used to that pick it up, like, oh my God. So. And I have a terrible, like, I've always had kind of like a guitar posture, bad lower back. So, you know, I'm starting to, like, make myself sound really old, but it helps when, you know, it helps me be able to move around and do crazier things, jumping around stage with a light guitar than if I was to have, like, some 50-pound thing around my neck.
Absolutely. Kind of switch gears. I wanted to ask what's currently on both of your playlists. What music are you currently listening to?
Josh?
I have a very, very broad spectrum. A lot of the days I'm listening to bands like Bring Me the Horizon or Normandy, Korn, Slipknot, and then just now, I'm actually driving at the moment, I was just listening to some bluegrass randomly.
Bluegrass?
My playlists are kind of really, yeah, I was listening to some bluegrass. I was listening to some playlists of some bands like Nickel Creek and all these like bands that, yeah, I kind of grew up listening to. But I listen to pretty much anything. But I think whenever Trev's in my car, it's always just the heaviest shit imaginable.
Nice.
I can attest to that.
I've been digging on the new Rival Sons record. I know that like those guys are old friends. I mean, me and Mike and I, the drummer, we've been friends for a long time, and I know Scott and the guitar player, and those guys have been really, really, really working hard for a long, 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 long time. And they came out and started their band when rock was not coming back, and it was kind of in the dark, and they still made a name for themselves. And for them to come out now and hit number one on their single on rock radio was like well deserved. And like, you know, that's a kind of a cool band for us. I hope one day for us to go on the road with those guys because it fit really well. They're good dudes, and you know, they're great players. And yeah, so I mean, I've been digging that. I was actually recently listening to Audio Slave. I'm a Morello fan, a big Morello fan, and you know, I love Haim. I like a lot of different stuff. Like it's just like I like really good songs with real musicians in the band, and I felt Haim was really cool because they all, you know, they write everything and they play their instruments, and so you know.
Yeah, they're awesome, and they're also from LA, right?
Yeah, they're Valley girls, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Sam, our bass player, went to college with the youngest one.
Oh, not Danielle, that's Alana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she used to kind of, I think they used to hang together a bit, but they used to play our old school carnival, too, St. Francis de Sales. Sam and I went to the same Catholic school together growing up. That really didn't do much good. Anyway, and...
Leave some room for the Holy Spirit, but...
Yeah, you know, what I realized when the holy water was singeing my skin, I was like, oh no, I probably shouldn't be here. But yeah, so I mean, they used to play the fair because the fair was pretty popular still. I mean, they do it once a year here, and like, you know, usually there's a lot of entertainment kids there. So my dad and Billy Idol played it one year. Mark McGrath plays it now with Sugar Ray. So like Haim would, like when they were like the I guess the family band Haim, when they played with their parents, they would do it every year too. So yeah, so I mean, it's cool to see some Valley kids come up. I mean, you know, I mean, I love my friend Ryan's band Group Love. You know, all these, it's cool to see, you know, people I know, young musicians that are making it, and it also keeps you focused, because if you truly are happy for your friends that are doing well, you also see that it's possible that you can make it. And you know, I mean, it just took this band for the whole thing to turn around. All of us separately, you know, we were doing our own thing. It wasn't really taking off, and then once you get into a room and you really truly just make the music that you love, and you don't overthink it. It just, I don't know. I'm just so happy that it's happening with these group of guys. That's for sure.
That's awesome. I also wanted to ask if those two songs will be on an upcoming EP. Do you have anything in the pipeline for an album release?
I know initially we said we were tentatively setting the EP for release in April, but honestly, we keep writing so much new stuff that we're like, we had a set EP written, and then we're like, oh, but actually this song would work really well after this song, and this song works. So who knows? We're just kind of not planning anything. We just keep on going, and we're going to see what's happening. And we've still got, I mean, Special's only just really begun on radio, so I think we've still got a little while to ride this wave for a bit, and then we'll assess what's happening after that. But yeah, I think in this day and age, you can really get away with just doing single after single after single, especially with the way streaming is these days.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But rest assured, there's going to be a shit ton of music from us in the very, very near future.
Awesome, that's what I want to hear. It's definitely a singles-driven industry right now.
Yeah, we still have so much more time to work this single too. I mean, we haven't even released it yet on Spotify or iTunes or anything like that.
And, it's just starting to come up on the radio, and we just have a lot of work ahead of us to really get this song the attention that we want it to get. And so, until we really start rolling with that, we'll probably have a better idea of what we want to do as far as a release. I mean, we write so much. Like, we got together a few weeks ago and wrote 7 songs in a day. So it's like, we're the kind of band that could put out a record, and then we'd probably already have 2 more records written by the time we're done with the record. So it's like, we just don't know what we want to do yet. But what's so cool is that we can actually, test out new songs on tour now. Like, we're going to bring a lot of our new stuff, our EP stuff, and we're going to just really test out the audience. When, if we're playing a song and we get some golf claps, and we're probably not going to want to put that on the record. Or, it's just a good way to test a lot of things out. We're really excited to show different styles of us, but also just like, it's very cohesive, but each song has its own personality. So it's just going to really, time will tell what we're going to do, but we're just living in the moment right now, just stoked.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are having a blast.
Yeah, definitely.
We are. There was never a dull moment when it's with these guys. We've all done separate things with other people, and nothing's felt as quite as right as it is with this band. So yeah.
Oh, it seems like you guys have the right chemistry, and you're prolific when it comes to songwriting. So I think everything's in your favor.
Jen, you're amazing. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you.
The only thing that I think we should probably mention is our for anyone that's really digging what we're doing, or someone that's to discover us through you, is just to check us out on Instagram, which is ZFG Official, and ZFG Band is Twitter account, and then our website, Josh.
It's zfgband.com.
And I think we're going to be releasing some merch soon on the online website.
Yeah.
So, just follow us, hang with us, and come out to a show.
I absolutely will. We have to work on getting you guys on the East Coast here.
100%. Boston's a rock fucking town, man. Love Extreme. Extreme's from Boston, so,
Yeah, Aerosmith.
So, we got to make our way to Boston for sure.
Absolutely. I will definitely show you guys around if you come.
Can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for having us.